Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors into my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have taught me the truth, who rule well, teach well, watching over the flock. Peace, love, and salutation unto the hopeful elect, kings and priests who are out there bringing out this word in sincerity and in truth, and hopes of salvation at Yahweh Shai's return. And likewise, shalom unto the sisters who are listening and learning, and the little ones who are also in hopes of mercy at Yahweh Shai's return. Brother, I'm Awan from the Great Millstone Branch, Los Angeles, and I'm back here this morning with another quick lesson. It's 9:13 a.m. Today's date is February 17th, Wednesday, 2021. The name of this lesson will be called, I Will Bring Plagues Upon the World. There's a new strain, Ebola's back on the scene, which came out in 2016. That was talked about how people was just dropping dead, which we were going into on the highways. The world ain't ready, man. What we've been saying and what has been coming up in the recent past years, it's starting to come back up. World War III is springing back up. Okay, these pestilence that the Lord spoke about, they're all unfolding. At times they will outbreak for a little bit and then they'll die down. But now the Lord is just letting loose. So it says here from the economiccollapseblog.com, will the new Ebola epidemic in Africa soon become the next global pandemic? February 15, 2021 by Michael Snyder. And remember, just in the end of the few months of 2020, the coronavirus was being spoken about. And that was in a whole nother side of the world. Okay? And it happened in Wuhan, China. How people were dropping dead. Then what happens? They said it spread over here. Then Esau shut the whole system down. All right, so could this be the next one? Could Esau stir some type of thing and use this? Well, we're going to see. So I'm going to read some of this. It's pretty long. Lord willing, I remember to post the link in the description box, but it's pretty lengthy. So I'm going to read some of this, jump down a little bit and pull some precepts, because although this is Esau doing this, this is also the left hand of the Most High. All right, he's using Esau with these plagues because Esau's broken all these laws of the Bible. So the Most High is going to bring more plagues than what he's even created. But the Most High is using Esau to bring this pestilence, man. Okay, so let's read some of it. Ebola is back and the people are starting to die. So should we be concerned? When I first heard that a new Ebola cluster had been identified in Eastern Congo, I didn't think too much of it, but now an Ebola epidemic has been declared in the country of Gehenna in West Africa. Now, if you don't know where is that at, let's get a map for you. Okay, which is where a lot of Israelites came out of, the Congos. Okay, what you see here, this whole middle part. There it is. You got this part right here. The Minute Congo, all that up in there. So they're saying it's an outbreak there. Okay. Ebola's back on the scene. Just bringing that in for a picture reference to show you where these places is at, because a lot of people don't know what shit is at on the map, man. You gotta look that up too. But it says these are the very few. Salakia. Let me jump up some. It says so far 4 people have died and more victims are being treated. These are the very first Ebola deaths in Guyana since the horrific outbreak that finally ended in 2016. Global health authorities are rushing to contain this new epidemic because there will be a grave consequence if Ebola outbreak is allowed to spiral out of control. According to Wikipedia, the average death rate during an Ebola outbreak is 50%. Now, mind you, you got this the Gates and Melinda Foundation. They're over there practicing these diseases, creating these vaccines, and having these uncontrolled outbreaks over there, man. On you Jakes that are out there, because you got Jakes that is amongst these Hamites. Okay, but let's read some of it. It says Ebola, also known as Ebola virus disease, EVD, or Ebola hemorrhagic fever, EHF, is a viral hemorrhagic fever of humans and other primitives caused by Ebola viruses. Signs and symptoms typically start between 2 days or 3 weeks after contracting the virus, with a fever, sore throat, muscular pain and headaches, vomiting, diarrhea, and a rush usually following, along with the decreased functions of the liver and kidneys. And I'm not going to keep reading all of it, but basically all this, man, everything will be out of whack, man. All right, by catching this disease and it's spreading. It says dying from Ebola is a truly horrifying way to go. I'm sure that many of you remember the panic that ensued a number of years ago when it was revealed that Ebola patients were being flown into the United States for treatment. Thankfully, that did not result in an outbreak here in the United States, but at the time, people were extremely concerned about what might happen. Now, check this out. Now, years in the future, you got the vaccine, this big scare now with this pandemic. And this was spoken about previous years, and we talked about that, man. How the Lord was going to send plagues, man. And let me get this word plague real quick from the Edamon.com, which I have it here in my app for the definition of the word plague, which is a noun, a person, place, or thing from the late 14th centuries. Plague, affliction, calamity, evil, scourge, severe trouble, or vexation. Malignant disease. Okay, jumping down, old French. I'm not going to try to pronounce some of these words. It says from Latin plaga, affliction, slaughter, destruction, used in Vulgate for pestilence. Okay, from Latin plaga, stroke, wound, probably from the root plangera, to strike, lament. So these viruses are real, man. Hey, man, some of us I ain't saying we caught this Ebola, but brothers have came upon being sick and all that. But the Lord is with his men. So when they really release something, okay, the Lord is going to protect his men, but the world is going to get hit by these plagues, man. Okay? It says, but continuing on, once it gets loose in an area, Ebola can be an absolute nightmare for health authorities. And that is why the epidemic in Gehenna is being taken so seriously. And I'm not going to read all this, but they're on it. Okay? It says, if you look at a map of Africa, you will see that Gehenna and Congo are not anywhere near each other. So right now we have two outbreaks of Ebola at the exact same time in two vastly different regions of the continent. So in Gehenna and Congo, when you look at the map, there's two outbreaks going on, man. Okay, let's see. This is on a whole nother side. You got more of the west side here is the Gehenna over here, right? And you got the Congo over here, But these are major outbreaks, man. Let's see. Go back to the article. Let's see. I think I skipped over a little bit or something. It says, this is just going on about a second outbreak in Gehenna. So you got one in the Congos, you got one in Gehenna. See, but what is strange is that this new epidemic in Guyana comes right on the heels of a new outbreak in Eastern Congo, So these are, man, the Lord is just sending all types of things, man. That seems rather odd, but doesn't it? The good news is that Ebola does not spread very easily from person to person, yada, yada, yada. It's a part I want in here. It says Ebola also doesn't seem to fit the profile of the sort of killer global pandemic that I warned about in my latest book. A few years ago, an experimental Ebola vaccine was developed, and then it goes on how it's temporary helped the patients. It says, but if we ever did see a global Ebola pandemic, the death rate will still be extremely high. It says, and it should be noted that governments around the globe have been attempting to weaponize Ebola and other similar diseases. Remember I said earlier in the video, all right, that whether it's Esau, all right, which it is the Esau by the Most High using him, which is the mystery of iniquity, weaponizing these diseases. It says the following comes from a Daily Mail report that was published just the other day. Now, before I continue reading, let me drop a scripture. Okay, because this is Esau Edom who weaponizes with this, and Bill Gates said that in one of his interviews. He said that there's two things that we should be afraid of in the future. I think he said climate change and bio weaponing. I believe that's what he said. Meaning bioweaponing, meaning using biodisease weapon, something to that word, but basically using diseases as a weapon. And this who does this clearly fit? Here in Revelations, what is this? 6:4. This is Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. What does red represents? Red is Esau, okay, but red represents death, man. All right, it represents sin. All right, it represents a negative type of energy, man, and that's what Esau brings. Let's read it again. And there went out another horse, and horse also represents power, that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And what is that great sword? Weaponizing any type of disease, all right, any type of ocean, the weather, all right, to use it on the people to take peace from the earth. Just look what happened in Texas. You got people uploading videos of the weather being fake snow, man. You see, and this has always been going on since I've been in the camp. That Esau's been manipulating the weather since the 60s, man. Okay, but it says the following comes from a Daily Mail report that was published just the other day. Experts fear Russia could weaponize the deadly Ebola virus as part of a catastrophic biological weapons project. Unit 68240 of Moscow FSB spy agency linked to Salisbury Novichok poisoning is thought to be behind the program, codenamed Toledo. Okay, it says Toledo. So like Toledo. It is believed the unit is researching both Ebola and the even more deadly Marburg viruses. If the Russians or someone else cooks up a weaponized version of Ebola in a lab and it gets out into the general public, it is doubtful that any existing vaccine or treatment will be effective against it. As far as this new epidemic in Africa is concerned, we will watch and see what will happen. Okay, what happens? Outbreaks of disease happen all the time, and very few of those outbreaks ever develop into true global pandemics. However, experts assure us, so yada yada yada, that it is just a matter of time for a killer pandemic that will be much, much worse than we are experiencing now comes along. And Esau's in these labs making all this. It says the future that pandemics may occur naturally, or it may happen because a really nasty bug, yada yada yada. But let's get a few of these precepts and I'm gonna close it out. Because the Lord is bringing these calamities, these evils, okay, using his left hand. All right. This is Luke 21 and 10. It says, then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. And you just had that place in Japan that was rocked years ago, that was hit by those bombs, get rocked by a major earthquake. And there's earthquakes happening all the time. Let's look at pestilence. This is what the Lord is bringing through those diseases, those different strains. Pestilence, a pestilent fellow pest plague. You know, we already basically looked it up. You know, and the signs that are happening in heaven with the eclipses and the chariot sightings. You know, the sounds from the heavens that is happening. Man, all types of things are happening in the earth right now. And one of the main things that the Lord is sending is plagues. Plagues upon the world. Behold, I send. Why? Why would the Lord send plagues? Because this world is wicked, man. It's full of iniquity. Matter of fact, before I read this in Revelations, let's get that in 2nd Esdras 15. This is what I meant to grab. Read all the way to the 14th verse. Start at 1. 2nd Esdras 15. Lord, well, I can get the reader's view. Throw out of y'all by Shimon Shai. This is 2nd Esdras 15. 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. What we're reading, right? And this is only for Israel, the elect, which is going to adhere to this word, repent, and be converted and healed. Verse 3, fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, right? Because we're going to be grabbed up. While these things happen, man. Okay, while these things are unfolding, some of us will be snatched up, but Lord is warning us through Esdras not to fear these things, man. It says, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, their unbelief. Verse 4, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. All right, the sword is not actually talking about a literal sword, man. Esau is weaponizing everything, like the article just said. Famines are happening due to this power outage and all the weather patterns that happened last year and this year, man. So things are happening. People are cold, shivering right now. All right, the Lord making it pop this year, man. Hey, man, things are happening in the earth, man. Different types of weather patterns and snow coming up in different parts of the world that never showed up. Earthquakes happening over here that never happened. You know, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled, man. So the Lord's getting tired of this shit, man. The Lord said he's angry with the wicked every day. And look how you people behave yourself, man. Or how you treat his how you treat his world. But it's due to the rulers, because if the rulers is not ruling right, the people ain't going to be ruling right and thinking right, man. That's why when Israel gets into power, and when in our new heavens and our new earth, we're going to flourish, man. We're not going to conduct our world as Esau does, man. You know, weaponizing everything and having people, you know. It says, verse 7, therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, meaning they just do it so blatantly and openly. Neither will I suffer them in those things, right? The Lord does not continue to have patience with you people anymore. All right, for the things that you're doing to his earth, man, and how you plan to kill people with these diseases, man. You Edomites, man, in which they wickedly exercise themselves, right? You exercise yourselves in these wickedness, man. Right? It's a sport. It's a reputation. You get reps out of this. You keep doing it and doing it. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, which is the elect of Israel, and the souls of the just complain continually. Right? We complaining unto the Heavenly Father. Why? How? By protesting. All right, before the face of our oppressors, man. That's what it means to complain. All right, we complaining openly in the sight of the Lord and in the sight of the nations, man. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. All right, and I'm going to stop right there. Well, I said I was going to read the 14 because it's more on that. Verse 10, it says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. We about to get out of here. But Jake still want to stay here and ignore the plagues, the signs, and the fall that is happening right before your eyes, man. It's happening, man. Verse 11, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Right? What are those plagues? These new strains of viruses that are spreading. These different weather patterns, man. All right? It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plague and the punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. Okay, and there's going to be more plagues. We remember what happened in the time of Egypt. The Lord sent those 10 plagues, man. That was just crucial, man. The Lord turned the rivers into blood, made lice pop up everywhere, man. Made locusts consume their crops. Look how the Lord is using these weather patterns and just wiping out fields of corn, fields of beans, fields of all types of food just getting wiped out, right? And it's not being reported. Water is just flooded the whole damn farm, man. Okay? Verse 13, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting, and hell with a fearful consolation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe to the world, not joy to the world. Okay, woe to the world, man. You know, woe unto those that are going to be in that lake of fire, man. Because if you're not looking at the signs, then, hey, man, shit, man. But let me go here, and I'm gonna close it out. This is Revelations 22 and 18 and 20. Salakia. close it out here. This is Revelations 22:18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, the Most High shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, the Most High shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book, man. Okay. Hey, so Esau, man, he's done enough. He ain't done enough. He ain't fulfilled it yet. But the time of fulfillment is coming, man. And these plagues are going to add unto him, man, that are not written in the book. Because, it's going to be something that's going to be worse, all right, than what we see now. Esau shows it in his movies all the time, you know. But, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors unto my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have taught me this truth. Peace, love, and salutation and mercy unto the hopeful elect, kings and priests who are out there bringing out this word in sincerity and in truth. Likewise, shalom unto the little ones and the sisters that's out there listening and learning. Okay, and Lord willing, into the next one, I will bring plagues upon the world. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.